Whatever that means.
So, I find myself in a 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn 5.7, of course. I mean, what other way would you buy one of these things? And we are heading right now to get our hairs cut. Several hairs cut, more than one, because neither of us are balding. It is my wedding this weekend, so we're trying to fit in a whole bunch of little things. I just picked up my Mini and some equipment with my truck, and we were just rolling like about 18,000 pounds with my F350, but we find ourselves in a need to go do some errands in town, as you might find with a wedding weekend. So the perfect thing that just happened is we hopped into a super comfortable 1500 half-ton truck. This is a Bighorn model. Very attractive looking interior. Super sassy dashboard. I absolutely love how cool these gauges look. They have kind of they're not a carbon fiber look, but it's kind of a carbon fiber look going on. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I really like a nice, well thought out dashboard. Comfortable steering wheel. I am 6'2" and a fairly big guy. I have all the room I could ever want in this thing. My head still has almost 3 inches, maybe even 3 inches with the seat all the way down. My head still has plenty of room on top of me. That is awesome. One of the things I noticed right away when I fired this truck up, and I think that this is very common with Ram history in general, is it has a very throaty, nice sounding exhaust. This is all stock. Just sounds really good when you fire it up. It makes you feel like you just jumped in a muscle car. And I really think that a lot of half tons have taken the position of what muscle cars used to be. They're a get around vehicle. They're fun. They're fast. There's no doubt that this is definitely a fast vehicle. Do you remember, is it 397 horse these things rated at, I think, Bob? 395. Plenty of horsepower, more than most of the muscle cars of the muscle car era. They don't weigh a whole lot more. Obviously, muscle cars weighed 1,000 pounds or so less than this, but 4,000 pounds isn't that far off for a big muscle car, like a decent size, like a Chevelle or whatever. They were like 3,700 pounds. So 4,000 pounds is just a little bit off that. And this thing's probably tipping the scales at, I think we decided, like 5,300 pounds is what we kind of looked up, right in that neighborhood. So really not that heavy, but that extra weight, what it gives you is extreme comfort and composure on roads. You can definitely toss these things in a corner. I guess I didn't need to slow down that much since we're making a video purposely about the handling of the vehicle. Oh, did you have stuff in the bed I probably shouldn't have taken the corner hard for, Bob?
Just my trailer hitch receiver.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So, excellent brakes. That's one thing I noticed right away when I got in this is excellent brakes, awesome throttle response. When you tip in, it has a really nice response when you get going. It definitely feels like it wants to get up and go. I think that this truck had 323 gears on. Didn't we decide that, Bob?
Yeah.
323s. Well, even so, because of this awesome 8-speed transmission that definitely downshifts. See that? Look at it mounting the downshifts in there to help you out with your braking. Definitely an awesome setup. And obviously, it's not my vehicle. I never beat on other people's vehicles, but
So hit the OK button.
Hit the OK button.
And then arrow. No, you hit it and then hit the arrows. Up or down. It goes through the different. I'll keep hitting it.
Oh, all the different things. So I guess you can control a whole bunch of things here. We obviously don't have a trailer on it.
Air pressure, all kinds of things.
Irregardless. Yeah, I don't know if you guys just saw, but I just switched, at 19 miles a gallon. I don't know how long he's had this set for, but it's amazing what these MDS engines will get for fuel economy, tire pressure, of course. There's our mile per hour. I think you hit OK to change the kilometers. Look at that, how cool that is. So if you cross, we live in Michigan. Going to Canada isn't that crazy of a deal. To be able to just flip between kilometers and miles an hour makes a big difference to keep you get pulled over in Ontario. It is a nice truck, and these things sure fill a void. They sure can tow a decent amount of weight. He has probably 16 foot by maybe 7 wide equipment trailer with two 7,000 pound axles. A really nice heavy duty. It's even got little sideboards on it. I really like a flatbed that has the sideboards. It's been really handy to move stuff. And this thing tows it around without any issue. He's got a 4-place snowmobile trailer that sometimes we put 4-wheelers on instead of snowmobiles. Again, handles it just fine. That 6,000 pound and less, 6,500 pound and less is a really good place to be with a half ton. And these things definitely put in the work. If you've got a bass boat, a pontoon boat, all that good stuff, to have a trailer hitch that you can realistically use and tow decent sized things. And of course, get up in the higher end of your towing capacity should you need to. Have 4-wheel drive to do great things off road if you need to, or in the wintertime, go find your favorite bass fishing lake down some tube track. They perform a lot of things well, and I think that's why the half-ton market is is definitely done very well. Basically, everyone I know with these Ram 1500s loves them in terms of the dependability of, from what I've heard, like the front end, the rear end, and of course with these 8-speed transmissions, they are awesome. And driving this is just like any other 8-speed that I've ran, and having the V8, it's the first time I've driven more or longer distance, a V8 with an 8-speed. Now, I had a 2017 Power Wagon, and I loved that truck. What I didn't like about it was the 6.4, and what I didn't like about it was the 6-speed that it had. I think the 19-plus Power Wagon with an 8-speed, I think that could be a really nice vehicle for a lot of people, including me. I truly miss my Power Wagon. That was a really nice asset to have. We had a lot of fun in that truck, and I miss it. And I think that the 8-speed has done wonders for every automaker that's adopted it, and specifically FCA and now Stellantis. A lot of their vehicles are running 8-speeds now, including the Cummins. So that's a huge deal too. This is an awesome transmission. We're at 63 mile an hour right now, cruising at less than 1,500 RPM. So as you can see, this thing would really be a bruiser for a long distance cruising vehicle. Very comfortable. I'm very comfortable. I could sit and drive down the whole Route 66 and stop and have some burgers and whatever going down Route 66. We got tons of cab room. What is it?
80 miles an hour is right at 2,000.
80 miles an hour is right at 2,000 RPM. So definitely a very confident machine. It handles super well. Very, very comfortable to drive. Honestly, I think a lot of people, like I said, would have bought performance sedans, like a Charger, are opting to get 1,500 class trucks because they can do so much with them. A true 4-wheel drive system, a straight axle in the back for awesome towing and hauling capability. You can do a lot of things with this if you're a kayaker, a biker, dirt biker. I'm sure you could put a Harley Sportster in the back of this without feeling too bad about it. But you could just as easily put a Harley Sportster on a trailer and tow that around. So lots of awesome things about the Ram 1500, and I wanted to share this truck specifically. If anyone was in the market for 1500s, I definitely think that this is one that I would be happy to own. I know he loves it, and like I said, everyone else I know who has a Ram 1500 loves it. At some point, basically everyone I know who dailies a Ram 1500 at some point has encountered or has higher miles, somewhere between 120,000 and 145,000. Basically everyone I know who dailies them a lot ends up having to do a cam and lifter swap at some point. But being that this only has 38,000 miles on it, it's got a long way to go before he's going to have to worry about that. And even if he does, depends on what oil he runs, depends on how often he does his oil changes. It's very important with the Ram vehicles with MDS. So definitely a full thumbs up on the Ram 1500, and it's fun to get in. We were going to go and get a haircut, and I'm like, I want to drive your truck because I want to make a review video about it. I've ridden in it quite a lot. I've driven it a couple times. Did I tow a trailer with this? I feel like you had me tow a trailer for some reason. I used your flatbed the one time when it was loaded. I can't remember the reason, but there was some reason why I drove. I don't know why. I don't know if did we overload it and we were worried about it and I just drove? I can't remember, but whatever it is a stellar machine. I would totally own one of these. Get great fuel economy, tons of payload for the situation. Turn in 4 tires off-road if you need to. You can do definitely some mild off-roading in one of these without hurting anything or damaging your body. The biggest thing is if you're an outdoorsman and you're hunting, trapping, camping, going four-wheeling, just having 4-wheel drive just to keep you moving off-road in like on a 2-track or whatever is really important. And a properly functioning 4-wheel drive system that happens to be right at a finger's tip length. Now, I will say I'm not a terribly big fan of transmission turn dials as opposed to a column shifter. I love a column shifter just because it feels good to me. But this one being right here, it's out of the way. My Expedition has the stupid thing down here. It's such a pain in the butt. I would much rather have it out where it's not in the way, taking away from potential cup holders. So, all in all, very nice vehicle. Check both ways here, it looks clear. But I'll be quiet and listen to the exhaust for a second. Anyway, definitely a very fun vehicle to drive, comfortable and capable. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead, Bob.
This style, which is really common with the bigger 4-door, very utilitarian. And if you had back passengers, I know you're driving, so it's hard to turn around.
Here, I'll go like this. I hate to show. We have my wedding weekend this weekend, so there's a lot of stuff here. But there's just, you know, tons and tons of room in these Ram 4-doors. They're just crazy. So definitely a nice package. And like I said,
they're nice pleasure vehicles if you're taking more people with you.
For sure.
But you still want the ability to have a truck?
Absolutely. They half tons perform work and play very, very well. There's no doubt that if you kept your weights that you're commonly towing restrained, you could definitely get away with having this. And this is definitely a way more comfortable, way easier to park, way easier to daily drive and own than, say, if you had a 250 or a 350 Super Duty like mine. The ride quality of this is obviously way better. It feels very sporty, where my truck feels like a truck, and I like that about my truck. It feels like a truck. This thing feels like, it's kind of like my Expedition, where if you forgot the fact that it had a decent towing, the Expedition has a 9,000 pound towing capacity. Whatever this one is, if you forget about that for a minute, you would forget that you were in a truck, because it handles good, it stops good, and it's just fun to drive. What's up, Bob?
We talked about it in one of your other videos, but we looked it up, and the towing capacity is 12.7.
Well, someone brought up with the 323 gears that may or may not be the case. But I'm not exactly sure, because it's harder to find the towing guide than I had looked at the moment. So here I am.
Not that I would ever consider towing quite that much.
I would be very cautious at that level of weight behind any half ton. I don't care the brand. I don't care what options they have. There's not, like I said, it weighs about 5,300 pounds. You're talking over half the weight of the truck over twice the weight of the truck is behind you. I would be very careful, and I would use that 2x the weight of the truck as an important measure to consider. If you have a diesel 350 and it weighs about 8,000 pounds, then you're going to feel pretty comfortable with 16,000 pounds behind you. If you got more than 16,000 pounds behind you, that weight is going to start owning the truck. So always keep that in mind. The lighter you go on a tow vehicle, the more it's going to work against you for towing stability, in my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to go get our haircuts, and we'll see you in the next video.